What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome to another video here on the channel. This is a match review of the first knockout round match day of the Champions League here in 2018. We start off the match reviews with Juventus versus Spurs, in which actually Spurs managed to get a very good result, 2-2 away at Turin. It was a very intense match, one of the best matches I've watched so far this season. Very entertaining, very fun to watch. Actually, not too many matches are really like fun to watch, but this one had it all. It had penalties, it had fouls, it had free kicks, it had amazing save, amazing shots. It has absolutely everything, so you need to watch this one. I cannot stress this enough. Just like always, guys, if you enjoyed these match reviews and especially the Champions League that is back, remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. You get the deal, you know the drill, so let's get right to it. So just like we always do, we're going to start off by discussing the goals in this match, and the first goal came from Gonzalo Higuain in just after 1 minute from the start of the match. It was actually a very good goal from Gonzalo Higuain, a very good volley, but it was already, you know, discussed between the two players, Higuain and Miralem Pjanic, because Pjanic already knew exactly where to pass, and he saw the run of Gonzalo Higuain already previously, so it was a very good, already planified, you know, already discussed about, already planned. It was a very good set piece, and I gotta say that it stunned Spurs and it stunned me, and I think it stunned everybody in the stadium, because after 1 minute to be up 1-0, it's a huge deal. And the second goal came just some few minutes after, in the 9th minute, after Ben Davies conceded a penalty to Federico Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi was all over him at the start of the match. It was very good, actually, Italian. I actually predicted for him not to start. However, he started in this match and was actually superb, both defensively and attacking minded. So he conceded the penalty to Ben Davies, and then it was Gonzalo Higuain once again and actually shot it to the bottom left corner of the goal. Hugo Lloris didn't have too much to save it because it was just too powerful, so it went into the back of the net, and then it was Juventus 2-0 up against Spurs in just under 10 minutes. So after this, it seemed that Spurs couldn't get out of this huge hole they were into. They were 2-0 down in just under 10 minutes. However, the good thing about being 2-0 down under just 10 minutes is that you have 80 more minutes to figure out how to score a goal and get back into the game. And they actually managed to do that 25 minutes after that, from a very good goal from Harry Kane. Actually, you need to have some balls, balls of steel to actually take away Buffon out of the play completely. Nobody would ever think of doing a ball roll against Buffon and then scoring to the back of the net. It was a huge thing from Harry Kane, and it was a huge goal between them, because Harry Kane before that already had 2 chances with a good header and an amazing save of Buffon, and also a very good, soft but quite good as well shot from Harry Kane with his left foot. It was good to see this duel between a top tier goalkeeper and a top tier striker. It was just very entertaining. And the last goal of the match came from Christian Eriksen from a set piece. You gotta say it was a foul. Actually, it was a very good, not a good foul to say, because not fouls are good, but it was a certain foul. And it was in a very good position, because from that position it's very hard for the goalkeeper to know exactly where to position, you know, the wall, because you could either shoot with a left-footed or with a right-footed player. And in this time around, it was Eriksen, and Eriksen just put it into the back of the net really softly and put it a very good finesse shot and curve that Buffon was not going to get into, because the wall was positioning very wrong, I gotta say. Also, the wall could have jumped a little bit to try and hit it with their hips or something like that, because either way they were not gonna get to it, but they could at least try it. So in that situation, I gotta say it was a very good shot from Eriksen, and all hands to that guy, because the Danish once again demonstrates what he's one of the best players out in the world. So normally, after discussing all the goals, we move onwards to the free talking points section of this review. However, I'm gonna add a new section to it, because I think that is going to give you a little more understanding between my opinion and what do I think of the match. So in this situation, we're gonna introduce the new section of Man of the Match. I'm gonna give you my reasons why, because in this match, I think Christian Eriksen was the Man of the Match. So you could say that Gonzalo Higuain deserved to be the man of the match, because he had a direct contribution to the 2 goals of Juventus by, well, scoring them. But I actually disagree, because after the 2 goals, Higuain was good for the very first half, but after he lost a ball to, I think it was Dembele in the middle of the field, and then Harry Kane scored the goal, he lost a little bit of confidence, and he lost really a lot of balls after on. Normally, as a center forward like Higuain, you need to be able not only to score them, but also be able to, you know, create play. And he saw that he lost a lot of confidence, because once again in the box, normally you see there was a chance for Gonzalo Higuain, but he decided to pass it on to Bernardeschi, and Bernardeschi, well, scuffed it really. It should have been a ball for Higuain, and that's where I think Higuain just hindered a little bit. Normally a man of the match player is a guy who's gonna have influence all over the pitch, all over the match, and all over all his teammates. And Gonzalo Higuain started very good, and then he started to decrease. Unlike Eriksen, who started a little bit lower, he started not playing so good, but then increased his, his form really rapidly and became such an influence on that Spurs team. This was because Juventus, they tend to play very narrow as soon as they scored, so they scored, they sit back, and Eriksen couldn't find the spaces and the pockets and the gaps between the two lines of the midfield and the defense. But then as soon as they started to play a little bit more wide, Spurs, and actually got a little bit more possession, and they started playing with Ben Davies and also with Serge Aurier for the wings, I gotta say that Eriksen just became so aware of those spaces and actually managed to pass it on to the runs of Ben Davies, of Dele Alli, of Harry Kane. And that's where you can see the pass on to Harry Kane, and that goal from Kane just was superb, because the picked out, the vision of Eriksen was on point. And that's why I think Eriksen was and is the man of the match for this game. I think he deserved to be it really, and there are some other contenders like Dembele in Spurs, or maybe someone like Miralem Pjanic in Juventus as well. We can talk about Chiellini because he blocked so many shots, or even Alexandro, but I gotta say that Eriksen for me was just the player on front of everybody else in Turin today in the Allianz Stadium. I think he was just superb. So now moving on to my first talking point is going to be the result. I gotta say that this is a very good result for Spurs and kind of a decent result for Juventus. If I was Maximiliano Allegri and they told me, okay, you're going to get a 1-0 at Spurs, I gotta say, okay, that's a good result. But now I think Spurs have actually realized that they have everything to compete in a round of 16 stage against someone as big as Juventus, because they managed to come back and actually score 2 goals, something that no other team was able to do other than Bayern Munich in the last Champions League. So it's actually a quite big thing that Spurs managed to draw here at Turin. I think it's a very good starting point for Mauricio Pochettino to start and motivating his players for the next leg. I gotta say it's very good, and I'm excited for it. It's a good result for Spurs, not so good for Juventus, but I think that in Wembley we're gonna have a very interesting match, because Wembley could be the fortress of Spurs, but it could also be a good chance for Juventus to prove their worth. So now for my second talking point, I wanna discuss another Spurs player, and that is Eric Lamela. I gotta say I was very surprised with the selection of Lamela, especially because someone like Heung-min Son could have given Spurs a very good attack prowess going forward. Definitely add a lot of verticality to the game. I'm gonna be able to, open wide the defense for people like Eriksen to give a little bit of, more passes into Kane and Dele Alli. But it was very interesting to see Lamela, because I see where Pochettino was going from to have a little more control of the midfield, but especially after you can see 2 goals right away, I think that someone like Heung-min Son could have been the difference a little bit faster. I think he should have been brought just that extra sooner to give the team definitely a more confidence going forward, because Lamela is a player who just started 3 games away. I think he come from injury, and to start in a match as important as this one, it was quite surprising. Lamela was probably one of the, I don't want to say worst players, because he played decently, but I think the whole squad of Spurs actually played good, outside from someone like Serge Aurier, who was good in attack but defense wise was like horrific. So Lamela was kind of in there. He wasn't good, he was meh, he was decent. And definitely it was quite interesting to see Pochettino. I don't know if this was a message for Son, or perhaps a message to Lamela saying I have confidence in you, but it was very interesting to see Lamela start this game when you had so many other possibilities. Definitely want to hear your opinions about this, because I'm not quite sure or where exactly to see the perspective of Pochettino by giving Lamela into the game. So what do you think, guys? What's your insight on this one? What do you think? What's your opinion? I really want to know. And now with my final talking point, I want to discuss something about Juventus. I don't want to be too nitpicky about this, but Juventus are playing like an old century team sometimes, when they just score a goal and sit back. Someone like Manchester United also do that a lot this season with Jose Mourinho. But I gotta say that Juventus, just being an Italian team, you need to start growing to the mentality definitely. I thought that you were going to try and compete and try to play a little bit more of modern football, especially with the change of your stadium, the change of your badge, just having all these modernized things around you. And that's where I thought you got caught out, especially because giving space, giving too much time for a team like Spurs to play. At one moment they had 64% possession over Juventus, and that's too much. You cannot give that amount of possession. Even though you think you may be superior or you had a lead, you cannot give that amount of time to people like Eriksen, Dele Alli, and Dembele. That's not normal, and that's where I think Juventus really lost the game. I don't know if you understand this, but Juventus needs to start off like modernizing. They need to get more hybrid midfielders, sort of like you see Dembele, who is just able to drift the ball forward, because they weren't able to counterattack. They don't have the players to do that. They had Mandzukic, they have Douglas Costa, the two wings, and then they had Higuain up top. So I don't see exactly where Juventus were going to. They were going to be very happy with 2-0, but as you see, it's not a good result, because after that Spurs got enough chances to score 2 goals back. So it's all about that. It's all about Juventus needing a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a wake up. We need something. We need to be modernized. We need to get back into the game, because certainly I think that's where you're gonna get caught out, especially a team like Spurs. They're doing fine. Imagine a team like Barcelona, a team like Manchester City, a team like Liverpool. They're gonna pounce real hard, especially if you cannot put in a counter-attack. However, once again, you could say that this has been a more conservative type of play due to the injuries of Dybala and Cuadrado. Those players were definitely missing, especially someone like Stefan Lichtsteiner trying to, penetrate the attack for the right-hand flank. Definitely was a huge miss. So I could see the way Allegri was trying to play this a little bit more conservative, but definitely I think that you need to spice things up. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Just like always, remember to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. Make sure to make this channel a part of your daily routine. I've been your host for the day. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.